and dog adventurers, welcome to House Rules. We're filming at Adventure Games here in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, the hobby shop with the best loot around. Today we're talking about Spoils of War. This is a brand new game made by Arcane Wonders. Was released last week, so we wanted to hop right in and let you know about it. It's recommended for ages 14 and up. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it does get a little overwhelming. There's a lot of different strategy that you have to think about, and it takes about an hour. So anyone with a short attention span, this may not be the game for them. But the cool thing is, it's recommended for 3 to 5 players, but if you add a second base game, you can play up to 10.
Which is really cool. That's not very common at all.
Right.
Not common to be able to play up to 10 with one game, but
Right.
to
Be able
mash
to, put
that
two
it's
together.
so well designed in that way. So.
Right.
It can scale easily.
Right, and I think that's a way that they kept the cost down,
Yeah.
because if you have a bigger group, you can expand, but there's only a few of you. It's a perfect price point there.
Yeah.
So, Spoils of War. Congratulations! You spent the summer successfully going a Viking, and you have all this loot!
Woo.
How are you going to divide it among your Viking friends? Well, that's where this game comes in. It's played over 9 rounds, and after the end of the 9th round, the Viking who's won the most loot off of his friends wins the game. Easy
Awesome.
peasy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to show you part of how this game plays out. So after the treasure is set up for that particular round, you roll the dice and you flip them behind your screen. At that point, we find it helpful to kind of divide out what's the same and what's not. And then you would make a bet, if you were the first person going, based on what you have and what you think the other people have on their dice. So I know for a fact I have 2 1s, and so I can assume safely that the other players, there's another 1 out there. So I'm going to start the betting with 3 1s. The next person has to go up with their bet. So it has to either be 4 1s or 3 of another dice that's higher, like 3 4s. So after the betting goes around, one person will finally challenge what the person prior to them said. Like, there's no way there's 7 6s. So they challenge that, and then everyone would then at that point bet. There's a minimum bet of 5, whether you agree or disagree with what was declared, or if you agree with what was challenged. You put that bet out, everyone reveals their bets. You count up to see who was correct, and then the winners keep their money, the losers lose their money, and the person with the highest bet gets to draw treasure first. At the end of the game, the point is to have either 1 of each, which is worth 8 gold, partial sets, or a complete set. Add to your scoring. Also, your money counts. So jewelry are the same, eggs are the same, armor are the same, and their point value increases as you go up through the ages. So the main parts of Spoils of War are dice rolling, betting, and item collecting. So those 3 aspects are played out over the 9 rounds, but each particular round has all of those things happening in them. So this is a main course game. It's extremely interactive.
Yeah.
You've got to talk to each other. You've got to bet. You're kind of reading each other's body language. Are they telling me that this is what they got? Do we have a thing going on here where we're teaming up against this person?
Or am I making you think
Or
that
is
we
she
have a
making
thing?
you think that?
Who would do that?
I don't know.
So, but it's extremely interactive. But one might say it's a little fiddly.
One might say that.
One might say that.
There is a lot going on behind that tiny little screen.
There
Right,
is.
right.
But as complex as it is, Arcane Wonders really does a great job spelling out the rules. They have diagrams, there's examples. It is complex, but once you understand how it works, it is pretty streamlined, it's pretty smooth going. But there's at least a 1 game learning curve.
Right. right? And Arcane Wonders themselves offers a house rule that if the betting is not going well, somebody that the first bettor is starting too high, that the first bet has to happen based on the number of Vikings that are playing.
Right.
So if there's 3 Vikings playing, you have to start with 3 whatevers.
Oh,
So
I like that actually.
I do
it's
too.
not bad.
Stops me from jumping the gun and saying there's 7 sevens.
Yeah,
Right.
so 7 sevens. Yeah. Weird. I don't have any sevens.
How are there 7s? Well, and the thing I like about this game is that there is some statistics involved, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just blind betting where you're just trying to read whether somebody's bluffing or not. There
Right.
is some reality that it's grounded in,
Right.
and there's a lot of strategy. So
Who knew that Vikings were statistically inclined?
Right. These particular Vikings
these
are.
Vikings are.
Well, and the artifacts add a lot too.
Yeah.
So, some of them can be used indefinitely. Some are one and give it to a different Viking, but they kind of let you mess with each other or be messed
Manipulate your
with.
dice.
Yep, you can change your dice. You can peek at someone's bet, and stuff like that. So it does add a lot more to the typical like liar's dice game mechanic.
Yeah.
So, Naomi, what do you think?
Well, I gave Sheriff a 4.5. And it was mainly because of that bidding, bluffing aspect where it was just you bidding out. But this game adds a lot more strategy and different levels, which actually pushes my buttons a little bit better.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually give it a 5.
All
It's a
right.
5. I like it. The first time I played it, I wanted to play it again. It's got that kind of like addictive quality for me. So
Nice.
it's definitely a good game. I love the thematics of it.
The Vikings get you going.
The Vikings get me going. I like shaking them dice. It's a fun game.
Yeah.
A great party game.
Yeah. Do you like it as much?
Not as much.
Not a 5. Okay.
Not a 5. I would give it a 3.5. It's a little bit above average for me. And it's because of that wanting to keep playing
Yeah.
aspect of it. I really, really like the dice slamming.
Yeah.
The shaker thing. But I wanted to play again, but like I said, it's pretty fiddly for me, and there's a lot going on, and it's just not my style of
Yeah.
game.
Right.
But I enjoyed it, and I think it's extremely well designed, and it certainly adds a lot to that item collecting.
Right.
Right. So I think they meshed those genres really well.
Yeah.
It's definitely kind of unique in that
It is.
aspect.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really is. And for its uniqueness, I'm going to give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not like Sheriff very much.
She
The
didn't.
buffing, kind of lying. It was, I don't like it. I'm sorry. So that's why I gave Sheriff a 2.
Yeah.
But Spoils of War feels very different for me. Made by the same company. The artwork is still great. The components are really nice. They're heavy duty. I like it a lot. And I think just that it has so much replayability, you could try out different strategies with different games, with how much you bet and how much you get the artifacts and alter your dice. I think that really adds a lot to it. And so my first game I played, I did horribly. It was so awful. It was so awful.
Sorry,
I
not
lost.
sorry.
Yeah, I lost with like half as many points as anyone else, and that kind of spoiled it for me.
Spoil it.
Spoiled.
Spoiled, eh? But I would like to play it, more often, maybe without my husband, because he's a jerk. But yeah, I think it really has a lot of replayability, and who you play with, I think, changes the game a lot as well. And so I think a 4 is really fair for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's great opportunities for trash talking, and
Yeah.
it's a good game.
Absolutely. And
We
that's
like
the communal part. It's
Yeah.
competitive, but still friendly and like
Enough.
Yeah. Enough.
Friendly enough. Yeah.
Tell us what you think down in the comments.
Give us a thumbs up if you like our channel.
Yep.
Make sure to hit subscribe.
And if you want to give this game a shot, come on down to Adventure Games and we'll be glad to teach you. We have a store copy for demoing purposes.
All right. Thanks.
Bye.